Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to take a look at a Kilkerran warehouse tasting 2005 vintage refill bourbon bottled in September of 2024. Dustin, my math, that's 19 years old? 18 maybe.
Yeah, it seems like I might have a little bit of age on there.
This is a Mike B special.
That would be 14, but still.
What did I say?
2005, 2029.
Oh, you're right, it would be. 19.
Oh.
Jeez, Dustin. We're fried.
Dude, it's been a long week.
It's 19, right? Did you correct me and you were wrong? Did you correct me and you were wrong?
Probably.
I do it all the time. I mix it up.
But yeah, Mike, I've not done any warehouse tastings. I don't think we've done any of the Springbank or Glengyle stuff.
The warehouse ones, no. I thought we got a Springbank one, but a hand filled.
We've gotten some society stuff. I think we got a hand fill, but I don't think it was a warehouse tasting.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not serious. But
refill bourbon? You know, I didn't say if it's peated. That isn't a deal breaker just for, like, say, Ardenmerkin for me. But,
well, if it's that old, it has to be not unpeated, but it's not their heavy peated.
Okay. Well, let's get to it.
So,
thanks, Mike. Friend of the channel.
Once again, Mike is, I think he sent us, like, a set of, like, here you go, guys. Here's some gifts, and here's a bunch of stuff that you guys have said you didn't like the distillery. So we're gonna put you to the test. So I really appreciate that, Mike. I really enjoy that.
He put thought into it.
Yeah, I mean, there was some real thought. Like, all right, I'm gonna make them drink a couple of Kilkerrans, some Ardenmerkin, but they're getting a Blora, so they're gonna shut up and be happy.
I tell you what, from his packaging to everything, the way he writes it out, great penmanship. You could tell he puts a lot of thought into it. It's something I always appreciate. Someone being prepared and executing something well.
This instantly reminds me of those old Kilkerran 12s in that the malt comes off very clean, whereas the Kilkerran 12s of today, and even some of the 16s, have a funky earthiness that I'm not saying I dislike, but I don't like. And this is very much in my wheelhouse.
Very clean is exactly the way to put that, Dustin.
Sweet, clean.
There is no off-putting note here whatsoever. Sweet, clean, light, I would say. You're getting the bourbon notes. Mm-hmm. You're getting vanilla.
Light citrus.
Yeah. Dare I say an apple?
It could be in that realm. I'm getting like a little bit of a sea breeze kind of thing going on here.
Wonderful nosing whiskey.
There's almost something that legitimately reminds me of like dryer sheets, Mike. It's that kind of clean, just...
But cooler than a dryer sheet, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Agree, yes. That's that sea breeze I just
yeah, good. I like that. Yeah, it's almost like an Ardbeg-ish cooling note to it. But I can't tell if there's peat. I'm not picking up peat here.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think their malt's always been slightly... Actually, you know what? They do have some fully unpeated, I think. So I think they kind of have their Hazelburn version, too. But I don't think they've ever like done a mass release. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but I think I've heard they do have like a Hazelburn equivalent. But it's not something that they do a lot of.
We need to ask the whiskey friend. He's a Kilkerran savant. He loves those things. He would know.
Yeah, that guy's like Wall's like half Kilkerran.
Oh, yeah, he'd know. This is a good one, though, man.
All the stuff that was in progress, so probably not worth drinking, just worth keeping as a collectible.
Well, Dustin, yeah, if they bottled in 2024 and it's a 2005 vintage, that's 19 years old.
You are correct.
You had me guessing, like, really? I didn't sleep much last night.
I'm not going to lie. I read the other date wrong. I read one of the dates wrong. I just believed that. And then I read 2029, and then I adjusted and said 19 in my head.
Oh.
That 4 looks like a 9.
Okay. Oh, you're going to bother? You're going to blame his incredible handwriting?
No, I'm going to.
You're not going to do him like that.
I'm blaming my inability to read, Mike.
Just playing.
But that's what I did. I've just full disclosure. That's exactly what I did.
Be honest. You can't add. You made it this far in life without being able to do simple mathematics and subtraction.
Yes, that's
how we got through finance.
That's what my job is every day. No math at all.
Oh gosh, we're doomed. All right, Dustin, I'm not picking up a lot here other than nice, normal bourbon notes on a well-aged whiskey. You can smell this is clean. This has some age on it, but it's not incredibly interesting on the nose.
There's a slight earthy kind of funk thing coming through now.
I'm thinking maybe with water. We get a little.
I think you're going to see a lot more with water. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, this is incredibly inviting. This makes me think this is going to be a great whiskey. Like, instantly, that's my first thought.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful oak, clean, smooth. There's almost like a flowery, like almost, I don't want to say lilac, but almost kind of like a lilac thing in the finish. stinging citrus. The citrus is really building now here at the end. It's almost like a cool mint, here at the end too. What are you picking up?
So I get this really nice, again, arrival of sort of citrus meets vanilla, clean, simple, basic malt. I then get that little bit of earthy dirtiness of Kilkerran, but it's extremely muted here. Compared to like anything else we've talked about, this is extremely muted. Mm-hmm. Much like how the 16 to 12 of the current 12 to 16 really cleans itself up. Mm-hmm. This one cleans itself up from 16 to 19 even more.
Yeah, well said.
And now it goes from being something that I don't enjoy on the 12. I find sometimes I like, sometimes I don't like on the 16. I actually really like what it did here. It gave it a little bit of balance. It gave it a little bit of depth. It gave it a little more richness. And then when you said lilac, I don't know what that means, but that made perfect sense. That flowery note that is on the finish.
It almost tasted purple, like in a light purplish way.
It's a floral kind of a thing going on the finish for sure.
This linger though, this finish is it's citrus and a little bit of spice, and it is holding on. I mean, it's cast strength, or I would assume it would be cast strength, 54.7.
It's got to be close.
I mean, it's warehouse tasting. I wouldn't think they'd water that down, but who knows?
I can't imagine they would, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean, really nice whiskey.
Yeah, one thing I will say is it's a little soft, a little simple. It's not bold. I was expecting it to be a little more punchy, given Kilkerran is somewhat of a punchy malt. So I'm a little surprised it's kind of taken a very subtle nature.
I am getting a little more of the funkiness on the finish, along with this citrus and this little bit of spice.
There's a little. I mean, it's very subtle. Oh man, the citrusiness came out with water.
Yeah, and almost like a perfumey note to go along with it. Not perfume. That's too much.
It's floral. There's a floral element here for sure.
Some type of scent, some type of light scent, like you crushed a flower that had a scent, and then you kind of released it in there.
Just kind of my initial reaction to this, Mike, is so most of what Mike B sends us are sipping whiskeys that you want to have very little small sips. You want to take your time with and really work with. This is the kind of whiskey. I don't know what these cost. I don't know what the difficulty of getting them is, but this is the kind of whiskey that I want to drink. Like, I want a 2-ounce pour, and I want to take kind of larger swigs because it is softer and gentler, and really get that just impressive, full coating mouthfeel thing here, because it's excellent whiskey, but this is a drinking whiskey. I don't make that distinction very often, but I think it really stands out here that this is more a drinker than a sipper.
If what you're saying is, I was like, have my own bottle and go at it for a better part of an afternoon watching a football game, yeah, I'm with you on that.
Or, I mean, it's a whiskey I would always pour 2 ounces of. It wouldn't be like, a lot of whiskeys we'll just pour, a little taste just to kind of get a feel for it. This is one I would want to have 2 ounces because I think that bigger, richer, just take a big sip in really would help this whiskey out. Because there's so much here that I think would do better with just that intensity of just a full swish around the mouth. You know what I mean?
I do. 2 ounces.
Maybe 3.
All right, with water, did it improve, Dustin? And I'll go after you. But again, I mean, pretty similar to the way it was with without water. The floral notes kind of more spread out now. Ooh. Lighter but more encompassing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So actually the flavor got way more intense with the water. It actually brought out this really intense kind of bready note all the way through. It's earthy breadiness, kind of again reminding me more of the Kilkerrans that I've had in the past, but again, it's still very clean, very nice. Citrus is still there. But the sweetness levels have gone down. That breadiness comes through, a little bit of sourness. It's a different whiskey now. This is more sipper. Interesting finish, still long, lingering. A little bit more peat note coming through here on the finish, and it is that Kilkerran peat, which is a little harder to put your finger on. It's definitely not, your typical Isla.
Yeah, it's more, there's a lot more going on. I forgot where it was on the palate initially, but then went back to the citrus, and you're right, the bready note, it kind of got thick loafy.
Yeah.
Lemon loaf.
A little bit of yeastiness coming in too.
Yeah, so at the beginning there was some yeastiness. You're absolutely right. I was going to say, I was like, I don't know if that's the right word, but I'm glad you verified
and
that.
Some sourness is coming through.
Sourness, big time.
Big sour note.
Especially on this long linger.
It's like before it was all concentrated and was all playing in harmony, and now it's letting the different pieces jump out. It's almost gone from a super balanced whiskey to kind of unbalanced. It's interesting.
A little bit of a mess. It's almost like you let the inmates run the prison.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what, I'm done. Leaving. So Flood coming. You guys are on your own.
Good luck.
Yeah, it was. I mean, what were some of the things we were saying without water? Like it was subdued, or hadn't quite hit its full potential. Man, with a little bit of water. But again, that happens with cast strength. A little bit of water.
Yeah.
Maybe this is relatively new open. I mean, it was just bottled in September 2024.
Now you probably just got it. Man, that is intense on the tongue now, man. Woo.
And it's the bread note. It's like bread, and it's
peat.
citrus.
Bread and peat.
I missed it.
It's that Kilkerran peat that, like, again, not the heavily peated Kilkerran, but the regular. Man, actually, truth be told, it's getting almost heavily to me now. A lot of stinging, lingering,
it's just
sour
citrus
peat, citrus. Yeah, interesting.
All right, Dustin. Remember, Mike spiritually or metaphorically is right here with us with the paper, so you go first on the whiskey score.
All right, Mike. I'm going to give this an 87. I could be talked into an 88 here, but I think 87 is right. This is a fun whiskey, does a lot of cool things. Nothing exceptional here other than maybe after water, the finish is actually pretty darn intense. I'm not a huge fan of the Kilkerran breadiness, especially on the nose. This is not a whiskey I would sit around nosing a lot. It's nice, it's well done. So I think 87 is fair, but again, you could talk me into 88.
87 is the right score. It may be a better whiskey, but this is what we're experiencing today. When we're describing, that's what it is. And I would definitely say if I'm just going to drink this whiskey, I'm going neat. I do like, I maybe at the end you throw a little bit of water, but I like the initial just going through it, neat, clean, clean, fresh, just direct. Direct message from the bottle to my taste buds.
I mean, again, no real complaints here. Even the things that are like a little lower on, it's like, oh, they're an 86. I mean, okay, great. That's still awesome whiskey.
Yeah, so whiskey I'm going to buy.
Yeah, I mean, if this is under 150, I think this is something worth having.
Yeah, we give out 85s or lower. That's when you know.
200 is probably where, like, you're like,
We'll see.
I'll think about it.
Yep. All right, those are our thoughts on this particular whiskey. If you guys have a chance to try any of the Kilkerran warehouse tastings, let us know. Obviously, probably no one else got this particular bottle, but let us know some of the older ones were indeed less funky, and any of them kind of come off profile lines like this one. Dustin, until next time, what do we wish, folks?
Happy, funky Kilkerran drinking.
See you next time.